My fiancé said at the cake tasting, "We are doing vegan everything. Your family will just have to deal with their allergies. My sister is severely allergic to tree nuts, the main protein in her menu." I said, "Let us discuss this." Then I canceled the wedding entirely and refunded every deposit. The look on her face when the baker called her saying I had withdrawn everything was priceless. I am 31, male, proposed to my girlfriend of 4 years 8 months ago. We have been planning the wedding for our 1-year engagement. Ceremony and reception at a nice venue. Around 120 guests. Nothing insane but not cheap either. Total budget was about $42,000, most of which I was covering since I make significantly more than her. My fiancé went vegan about 18 months ago. I supported this completely. I learned to cook vegan meals. We found restaurants that work for both of us, and I never once complained about the lifestyle change. Her body, her choice, genuinely fine with me. What I wasn't fine with was when she started pushing it on everyone else. It started small. Comments about my mom is leather purse. Passive-aggressive remarks when my dad ordered a steak at dinner. Sending my sister articles about the ethical problems with her wool coat. My family tolerated it because they loved me and wanted to support our relationship. They bit their tongues a lot. Then came the wedding planning. She wanted a fully vegan wedding. Okay, I thought. It is her day too, and vegan food can be great. I agreed with one condition. We needed to accommodate my sister is severe tree nut allergy, not a preference, not a sensitivity, a full-blown anaphylactic allergy that has sent her to the ER twice. She carries an EpiPen everywhere. My fiancé said she understood, said she would make sure the caterer knew, said it would be handled. 3 weeks ago we went to our final cake tasting. The baker, a lovely woman who specialized in vegan desserts, laid out the options. Every single one contained almond flour cashew cream or a walnut base frosting. Tree nuts were the foundation of the entire menu. "These look amazing," I said, "but we need at least one option that is tree nut free for my sister." My fiancée rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes. "Your sister can just not eat cake. It is one day. She can't eat any of this. The cross-contamination alone could trigger a reaction. She should just take a Benadryl and deal with it." I stared at her. "Benadryl doesn't stop anaphylaxis. She could literally die." "You are being dramatic. Allergies aren't that serious. People use them as an excuse to be picky all the time. This is called medical gaslighting. Dismissing someone's real medical condition as drama or pickiness." The baker looked deeply uncomfortable. "I do not blame her. We need to discuss this," I said quietly. "Let us step outside." We did. I asked her calmly why she was dismissing a life-threatening medical condition. Her response, "We are doing vegan everything. Your family will just have to deal with their allergies." I am not compromising my ethics for someone who probably just doesn't like nuts. She has been hospitalized twice. This isn't a preference. Well, maybe she should stay home then if she is so fragile. I stood there in that parking lot and realized I was looking at a stranger. This wasn't about veganism. This was about control. About her values matching more than my sister is life. About my family being expected to bend while hers got everything they wanted. I thought about the past 18 months. The comments, the judgment. The way she had slowly pushed my family further and further away while I made excuses for her. "Let us discuss this at home," I said. She thought she had one. She smiled, patted my arm, and said, "I knew you would understand eventually." I didn't say another word the entire drive. That night while she was at her weekly yoga class, I made phone calls. The venue, the caterer, the florist, the DJ, the photographer, the baker. Every single vendor had been paid through my account, every single one. I canceled everything, every deposit, every final payment, every contract. Most vendors had cancellation clauses that cost me some money. I lost about $6,000 total in non-refundable fees, but the rest came back to me. About $28,000 returned over the next few days. I also called my parents and my sister, told them what happened, told them the wedding was off. My mom cried. My dad just said, "Son, I am proud of you." My sister was quiet for a long time, then said, "I didn't want to say anything, but I was scared to come. I didn't know how to tell you." That gutted me. My own sister was afraid to attend my wedding because she didn't feel safe. I packed a bag and went to stay with my best friend. Left my fiancé a note. "The wedding is canceled. I will be in touch about separating our things. Please do not contact me until I reach out." That was 3 days ago. Yesterday, the baker called my fiancée to confirm the cancellation. That is when she found out. My phone has been exploding ever since. Update 1. The fallout, 5 days later. So it has been a week since everything went down. First, the immediate aftermath. When my fiancée found out I canceled the wedding, she didn't call me. She called my mother at 11 p.m. screaming. My mom, who is 63 years old and was already asleep, got an earful about how I was emotionally abusive, how I had humiliated my fiancé, and how my family had never accepted her. My mom, bless her, just said, "You told my daughter to stay home from the wedding because her allergy was inconvenient. You suggested she might die because she is fragile. I do not think we are the problem here." Then she hung up. The next morning, I got a text from my fiancé's mom. I had always had a decent relationship with her. She seemed more reasonable than her daughter. That ended real quick. "Mom, I do not know what lies you have told your family, but my daughter is devastated. You owe her an apology and you owe her the wedding she planned. Real men do not run away from commitment." I didn't respond. 2 days later, my fiancé finally reached out directly. Not apologetic, not confused, furious. "You had no right to cancel everything without talking to me. That was our wedding. It was a wedding you wanted to use to exclude my sister because her medical condition was inconvenient. I wasn't excluding her. I just wasn't going to redesign the entire menu around one person is fake allergy. It is not fake. She has medical documentation going back 15 years. Whatever. The point is you made a massive decision without me. That is not how relationships work. Neither is telling your partner is sister that she can risk death or stay home." She didn't have a response for that. Instead, she pivoted. "I want the ring back and I want half of the deposits you lost. We planned this wedding together." Here is where it gets interesting. The ring was my grandmother's family piece, given to me specifically to propose with. Not purchased, inherited. Legally and ethically it is mine. The deposits were paid entirely by me, from my account with my money. We never combined finances. There is no legal standing for her to claim any of it. I told her this. That is not fair. I put time into this wedding. I planned for months. I am sorry you invested time, but I invested about $35,000. I think I am the one who gets to make calls about cancellation. You are such a selfish piece of work. I cannot believe I wasted 4 years on you. I cannot believe you thought my sister's life was less important than your cake aesthetic. I guess we both learned something. She blocked me after that, which honestly was a relief. But it wasn't over. 3 days ago, I went back to the apartment we share to get my things. I coordinated with her via her mother. Yes, her mother became the intermediary which tells you everything. To pick a time when she wouldn't be there. She was there anyway, sitting on the couch with her best friend, arms crossed, looking like she was waiting for a confrontation. "I am just here for my stuff," I said. "I do not want to argue." "Too bad. We are arguing. You do not get to blow up my life and then just walk away." Her friend chimed in. "Yeah, you totally gaslit her, making her think you were okay with a vegan wedding and then canceling behind her back. That is manipulation. I was okay with a vegan wedding. I wasn't okay with her telling my sister to risk anaphylaxis or skip the event. God, you are still on about the allergy thing. Your sister is such a drama queen." I looked at my fiancé. "Is that what you told people, that my sister is being dramatic?" She shrugged. "I mean, she kind of is. Tree nut allergies aren't even that common. She probably just doesn't like the taste." I laughed. Couldn't help it. She was hospitalized for 3 days when she was 12 because someone used walnut oil in a salad dressing and didn't tell her. But sure, she just doesn't like the taste. My fiancé's friend looked uncomfortable. Clearly this was new information. "Can I get my things now?" I asked. She let me. Watch me pack my books, my clothes, my gaming console, my kitchen equipment. Didn't offer to help. Just sat there making comments about how I was running away and couldn't handle a strong woman. When I was done, I paused at the door. "For what it is worth," I said, "I did love you. I wanted to marry you. But I cannot marry someone who thinks my family's safety is negotiable. I hope you find someone who fits better. Do not pretend to be the good guy. You are not." "I am not pretending anything. I am just leaving." I did. If you think I made the right call by canceling the wedding, hit the subscribe button. We talk about self-respect and boundaries here on Story Sparks. Update 2. The escalation. 8 days later. Quick update because things escalated again and I need to document this somewhere. After I moved my stuff out, I thought we were done. No more contact. No more drama. Just the slow process of untangling a shared life and moving on. Wrong. 4 days ago, I got a call from my credit card company. Someone had tried to make a $3,400 charge at a bridal shop using my card number. The transaction was flagged as suspicious because I had never shopped there before and my card was supposed to be in my wallet. Except my ex-fiancée, had the number memorized. From years of me paying for things, she knew the card number, expiration, and CVV by heart. I canceled the card immediately and filed a fraud report. The credit card company is investigating. When I texted her about it, just a simple, "Did you try to use my card at a bridal shop?" She didn't deny it. "You owe me. I had to find a new dress because the wedding is off and I cannot return the original one." Me. That is not how debt works. You cannot just charge my card because you are upset. It is not like you cannot afford it. You make 3 times what I make. Me. That doesn't give you the right to steal from me. It is not stealing if we were going to be married anyway. I screenshotted that entire conversation and sent it to the fraud department. Here is where it gets worse. Yesterday, I found out she has been telling people I canceled the wedding because I was cheating on her. Specifically, she is claiming I was having an affair with a coworker and used the allergy argument as a cover story to get out of the relationship. How do I know? Because 3 of her mutual friends reached out to ask if it was true. One of them was genuinely concerned. The other 2 were clearly fishing for gossip. I told all of them the same thing. There was no affair. I canceled because she refused to accommodate my sister's life-threatening allergy, and I wasn't going to defend myself against lies. They could believe whatever they wanted. 2 of them believed me immediately. They had seen how she treated my family over the years. The third, her closer friend, said there are always 2 sides, and stopped talking to me. Fine. I do not need people who think attempted credit card fraud and defamation are 2 sides. But then something happened that I wasn't expecting. My ex's mom called me. Not angry this time. Quiet. "I need to ask you something directly. Did you really cancel because of the allergy issue?" "Yes. That was the only reason. I loved your daughter. I wanted to marry her. But she looked me in the eye and told my sister to either risk hospitalization or skip the wedding. That was a deal breaker." Silence. "Then she told me it was about money, that you didn't want to pay for a vegan caterer." "The caterer was already booked and paid for. I had no issue with vegan food. I had an issue with every single menu item containing tree nuts which could kill my sister." More silence. "I didn't know that." "I am not surprised. She has been spinning this story since day one." Her mom sighed. "I am not calling to apologize for her. She is an adult and she makes her own choices. But I am sorry for the message I sent you. I didn't have all the information." "I appreciate that. For what it is worth, she has always been like this. Convinced that her way is the only right way. Her father and I tried to teach her compromise, but..." She trailed off. "Anyway, I won't bother you again. I just wanted you to know that not everyone in our family thinks you are the villain." She hung up. I sat with that for a long time. It didn't change anything, but it helped. Final update. The resolution. 6 days later. Okay, this is probably my last update. Things have reached a resolution of sorts. The credit card fraud investigation concluded. The bridal shop had security footage of my ex using my card. She had apparently also tried to charge about $800 at a spa the same day, which was also flagged and declined. I had two options: press charges or let it go. I pressed charges, not for revenge, not because I wanted to see her suffer, but because she committed a crime, showed no remorse, and would absolutely do it again to someone else if there were no consequences. The amount was just under the felony threshold, so it is being processed as misdemeanor fraud. She will have to appear in court, probably pay restitution plus fines, and it will be on her record. Her mother called me again after she found out. Not angry, just tired. She is blaming you for ruining her life. She ruined her own life. All I did was stop participating. I know, I hoped maybe you wouldn't press charges, for old time's sake. I cannot let her steal from me and face no consequences. That is not how I was raised. I understand. She paused. She is moving back in with us. Cannot afford the apartment alone. I am sorry to hear that. Do not be. Maybe sometime at home will give her perspective. I doubt it will, but I didn't say that. As for the cheating rumor, it fizzled out on its own. Turns out when you spend 4 years with someone and have never once given anyone a reason to think you are unfaithful, the accusation doesn't stick. The people who know me know better. The people who do not weren't really my friends anyway. My sister called me last week. First time we had really talked since everything went down beyond the initial "wedding is canceled" conversation. I need to say thank you, she said. And I need to say I am sorry. Sorry for what? For not speaking up sooner. I knew she didn't like me. I knew she thought my allergy was fake or exaggerated. But I didn't want to cause problems for you, so I just stayed quiet and hoped it would get better. That is not your fault, I said, and you shouldn't have to defend your right to not die. She laughed kind of wetly. When you put it that way. I put it that way because it is true. You did nothing wrong, she did. And now she is facing consequences, that is all. We talked for another hour after that, about growing up, about family, about what we both wanted our futures to look like. It was the best conversation we had had in years. I am staying with my friend for now while I look for a new place. I have got a decent job, some savings, less than before thanks to those non-refundable deposits, but enough, and a family who actually has my back. My grandmother's ring is back in my parents' safe. Someday maybe I will give it to someone who deserves it. Someone who understands that loving me means loving my family too, including their inconvenient medical conditions. For now, I am just focused on rebuilding. My ex never apologized. Not for the allergy comments, not for the fraud, not for the lies. I do not expect she ever will. But here is the thing. I do not need her apology. Apologies do not change what happened. They do not undo 4 years of red flags I ignored because I loved her. They do not give me back the $6,000 in lost deposits or the months of planning or the version of my future I thought I was building. What I needed was out, and I got that. Some people have asked if I regret the relationship entirely. If I wish I had never proposed, never dated her, never let it get that far. Honestly, no. I learned what I will and won't accept. I learned that love isn't enough if respect isn't there too. I learned that my family matters. My sister is safety matters. And anyone who asks me to compromise on that isn't someone I want in my life. Those are expensive lessons, but they are worth it. Anyway, that is the end of the story. No dramatic twist, no big finale, just a guy who almost married the wrong person and got out before it was too late. Thanks for listening, internet strangers. You help more than you know.